Whoa! No, that wasn't a jet engine. That was a water heater that hadn't been serviced since the Clinton administration.
When the pressure relief valve fails, that tank turns into a 400-pound rocket. Seriously, they've gone through roofs before.
All it takes is a little maintenance. Truth, checking the valve, flushing the tank, and keeping that thermostat from running a fever.
So unless you want your laundry room launching into orbit, call Absolute Plumbing before your water heater gets any bright ideas.
Blue light?
1 second, please. Speak again.
Blue light?
You are green, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, first off, welcome to this month's community forum. On the back table, I just want to point out a few things. We got a shipment of some new materials. And I got it into the boxes that I could. There's like 30 boxes back there, but some coloring books I want to point out. We got two canines, Alice and Stitch. These are coloring books for the kids that we handing out when they go do this demonstration stuff at schools. We got others, shadow victims for trafficking. We got other coloring books, Stop the Violence. We got some school material for violence in schools and things like that, bullying. So that material is here at the sheriff's office. And we will also be passing it out, like I said, when we're around the community and stuff like that, doing different events. So if you see it, or if you want it, you can come in and ask for it and we can get it for you. But there is a lot of new material and a lot of different material from the past. So like I said, it's about 30 boxes worth of stuff. So we'll be getting that out for just general information, good information to know and things like that. So again, good evening and thank you for being here. We'll start out pretty much the same way as if you haven't been here before, I'll give some information on the sheriff's office and what's going on, what's new. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to just raise your hand. And then we'll get into some question and answers after we're done with this stuff. But first off, I want to say that Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, the jail reintegration program was selected. There's 114 counties in Missouri. The Pulaski County reintegration program was selected for a Missouri Commissioners Association Award. I think that's it, said it right. MAC, Missouri Association of Commissioners. We were one of 4 counties to receive an award for our reintegration program. And if you don't know what our reintegration program is, we received a grant that COMC helped get. We're one of 2 jails in the state of Missouri. And with the reintegration specialist, her name's Monet, what she does is she helps inmates about 90 days out to start preparing for entering back into society. And some of the things she does is she helps if they don't have a high school diploma, she'll help get a GED. When they come into jail, if you don't know, their Medicaid and Medicare stops. So their bills and their medical stuff is paid by me. So once they get out, they have no insurance. So to help with their counseling, to help with their medication and stuff like that, to get that and keep that prescribed, she helps get them set back on Medicaid and Medicare. She sets them up for counseling for the reason why they're in the jail, whether it's domestic violence or drugs, alcohol, some type of addiction. She will coordinate counseling on the outside. And then she will also, because the biggest problem with when people get released out of jail is they don't have a ride. So to keep that going and to make sure they can get to their appointments, she finds rides for them to their different appointments. So that's not an excuse anymore. She follows up with them. She works with drug court. So a lot of the people that come out here that volunteer for drug court, they go up there and then she counsels and volunteers does her rehabilitation counseling sessions down here at the jail to make sure that they're still on track, their appointments are kept with, that they're keeping them. She sets them up for an in-house rehabilitation program called EPIC. I can't recall what EPIC stands for at this time, but it is for an in-house drug rehabilitation program that they go to and they stay there. They do the rehabilitation, and then they're released at some point in time once they meet certain criteria. But she follows up with all that, which is the hardest thing to do because you get them set up for it, and then they're free to go. Well, the difference is, like I said, she's following up. She's calling them on the phone. She's meeting with them at drug court when they come here to drug court, which is a huge difference than what it could be. Because a lot of programs, like I said, they just They throw you to the wolves. Yeah, you're in this program, but nobody's checking on you. That's the biggest thing for the success for this program so far is the way that she cares for the people that she's providing for. I saw Monet. We had a homeless woman come here a couple days ago, and she needed a room voucher. Well, I didn't have any room vouchers. Well, Monet took it upon herself to help this young lady get a room and got a hold of her caseworker because she was homeless, and set her up for a few nights where that she could be cared for and out of it, because that was during the right now it's been nice the last couple of, but when if you remember those couple of days it was real cold, that's when she came to the sheriff's office, and we were able to provide that help, which is great. Some of the things in October, our calls for October were up over 100 calls. So this month we were, or I'm sorry, yeah, for October we were at 1,354 calls. That's about 44 calls a day for deputies. I got 2 to 3 on during the day and 2 to 3 on at night. But that's about 44 calls every day. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll keep saying it. We're a class 3 county with class 1 problems. We're the largest class 3 county by population in the state of Missouri. And we have far less manpower than Columbia, St. Louis, Springfield, the bigger counties that are class 1 that have 100 and some personnel with 80 of them on the road. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying. However, we do a lot with a little, and it's constantly pushing our people to the limits to try and get to these calls and make these calls. 252 traffic stops. That's up by about 70 traffic stops from last month. Traffic stops I've put out to my guys, especially my dogs, and I get little comments on my Facebook post. So we might get somebody with some syringes and a little bit of fentanyl or a little bit of meth. I don't care. I told my people I want it all. Yes, they are usually addicts. They're not selling a whole lot of product to people. However, that's a life that we just saved right there, for at least for that night. So I don't care how much it is. I don't care how much the paraphernalia. I don't care. I want it all. Our dogs will find it. Our deputies will find it. So that leads into other things that I won't talk about, but these traffic stops are making a huge impact in this county. And we will continue to stop vehicles. We will continue to open air sniff vehicles. I have 3 detectives now that are, well, I'm not gonna put that out, but I got 3 high-speed detectives that really do great job searching vehicles. 177 arrests for that month, 37 traffic accidents that we don't work traffic accidents for the most part, highway patrol, but we're usually the first ones there, or we go and we provide traffic support and stuff like that for the accidents. 84 disturbance calls, 62 we assist other agencies, whether it be Dixon or St. Robert, Waynesville, as well as they assist us. So these are assist agency calls where they need support, they need backup, and we go when we're available. And then 84 checks of well-being. Crime enforcement, the highlights for that for crime-related calls, we had 6 assaults. That's way down. 5 child abuse and 6 rapes. Rapes is the alarming thing. I mean, they're going to be investigated. We got some pretty good daggone detectives back there that take this job seriously. But the sexual assaults and the rape thing just blows my mind that people, I mean, you're going to get caught. You're going to get told on. If the night ain't the night, then leave it alone. That's all I can tell you. Forcing yourself on someone is not the answer, and you know you're wrong when you're doing it. So I just plead to people. I mean, find your match somewhere, but if no means no. Property and theft related calls, we had 14 burglaries, 42 thefts, which thefts are up. We had 14 property damage, 10 fraud cases, which fraud was up by 5. Suspicious activity and proactive calls, we had 56 calls for suspicious activity and suspicious vehicles. So when we get a call for that, we go out, we scour the area, we look for the car, we look for the person, and that leads to some of the arrests that from that one that what was it 177, and that also leads to our traffic stops. And that's another reason why we got a lot of traffic stops too. So I love this part because you're seeing something suspicious and you're saying something. You're calling us. You're letting us know. We need to know. You may not see us out there. You may not know we're out there, but trust me, when you call the dispatch for a deputy because you see something that doesn't look right, we're coming out there. So please continue to keep the calls coming. I want the calls, and we will get our deputies out there to take care of whatever's going on. Drug-related calls. We had 4 drug-related overdoses. I don't know that any of those overdoses were deaths. I know last month, and I hate to say this, but last month, until one point in the middle of the month, it was almost the end of the month, the coroner had said for that month of October, we had 1 overdose death for that month, which is amazing. 1 death is too many. I totally understand that. But to have our overdose deaths down, that is a couple of things. Number one, they're calling emergency services because they've overdosed, and they're getting the help, and they're getting to the hospital, and they're getting Narcan. 2, maybe we're finally seeing the light that hopefully fentanyl is seen more as a dangerous drug. However, we see it every daggone day. But hopefully people are starting to get the message on, especially the fentanyl, because the fentanyl is bad news. You're rolling the dice every time you try it. Safety and roadway issues. We had 252 traffic stops. Again, I want my guys pulling you over. I want my guys, if you're doing something illegal, I want them to not look by, not pass it by. I want them to pull you over. Speeding is huge, especially in Crocker. Crocker continues to be a raceway. It's clearly marked, but I can't put, if I could put speed bumps out there, I would put speed bumps out, but I can't. So I ask you, especially during the school, because we've had a couple incidents where people have almost been hitting the crosswalks, whether it's Crocker or other schools. You got to slow down. You got to, if you're late for work, you got to leave early. That's all there is to it. So we got to slow down. And I know I'm the pot calling the kettle black. However, I'm healed. So, and I was running code, so I had an excuse to run fast. But however, you don't have an excuse to run fast. So let's slow down. Let's take our time. Let's think about the kids. Let's think about the pedestrians along the road. Let's think about other vehicles and things like that. So wake up early if you got a problem with showing up late to work. And again, we're not using the traffic enforcement just for tickets. I don't know that we give out tickets. My report doesn't say if we handed out a ticket, and I didn't dig through all these traffic reports to find out if we get tickets. But the biggest thing is the impaired drivers. That's what we're looking for. So you get mad if we pull you over because you failed to use your blinker, and it's 2:00 in the morning. Use your blinker. That's probable cause to stop your car. We will do the rest of the work from there. So we're looking for impaired drivers. We're looking for illegal activity. We're looking for stolen stuff in your vehicles. We're looking for, we're not just out there to make your day bad or your night bad. If everything checks out, then I guarantee probably 90% of the time the deputy will just shoot you away. So, the traffic stops, don't be mad about it. Mental health, the story of our life here at Pulaski County Jail. We had 84 checks of well-being. We had 11 mental emergency calls. We had 7 suicide-related calls, 18 unconscious responsive. And again, that's mainly us going out there. The ambulance takes over once we get there. We don't know the disposition, nor does the ambulance. But that's why I check with the coroner to check on our overdose-related deaths to try and get an accurate number. And again, like I said earlier, we did have 4 overdoses, but I don't have anything on we had any overdose deaths for this month, which I hate even talking about it because that's when the bad juju starts. But these numbers show how often our deputies are working as first responders. I mean, we're mediators, we're first responders, we're problem solvers, we're counselors for families in crisis. We're not just law enforcement. We wear several hats when we're out on the road. And we try our daggone to do our best job possible when we're out there. Do we make mistakes? Absolutely, 100%. We all make mistakes. We're not human. Last person didn't make a mistake, walked on water. None of us walk on water. But we do try our hardest to do a great job for you all. You all pay for this service. And it's expected from me and Chief that our deputies perform to their best. If they have any questions, then they know they can call me or Chief at any time. They can call the on-duty prosecutor to get further guidance. And if they have any questions at all on that call. So we're not out here to make your life miserable. We're not out here to upset you. So if we get called, we're going to treat you with the dignity and respect that you deserve. And that is number one on my scale for deputies is they treat everyone with dignity and respect. And I expect our citizens to treat our deputies with dignity and respect as well. If there's ever a problem, you can submit a complaint. I get all kinds of complaints. The problem with the complaints I receive online, there's no phone number, there's no email address, they're all anonymous. So I have no way of checking on if Sheriff Ball came to the call and said that he would do the case, and you haven't seen or heard from Sheriff Ball in 5 months. And that's all it says. It has no way for me to follow up. So if you have a legitimate complaint, I ask if you're submitting that, if it's coming to me or Chief, that's the only 2 people it comes to. So if you submit a complaint, then me and the Chief will we will get the email, and we will call you, and we will act upon that complaint that you have. But if we don't know and we can't follow up, then which brings me to the tips. I get a lot of tips that just give us generic information, but there's no way to follow up. And I got it. You want to remain anonymous. Again, the tips come to me, Chief, and I think my narcotics officer. The reason I got my narcotics officer because we get a lot of narcotics tips, and he needs to be read in on that. So I don't have to sit there and copy and paste emails all the time. So again, we would like to follow up. You can still remain anonymous. If you put your email, if you put your phone number on there or something, you don't have to put your name, but we can call you and hey, I got this tip from you. You submitted. You don't ever have to mention your name. But we need some follow-up information so we can act upon it. So I would greatly appreciate that if you're watching this or watch it later, that we get those tips, you get those complaints or anything like that, then put your phone number, put an email address on there so we can contact you and follow up with you. Because we can't do nothing if we can't follow up. Quality of life, In our community calls, we had 48 animal calls, 10 threats, 23 jail calls, which our deputies got to come back to the jail because there's something going on down there. 32 paper service calls, which that a month for insurance, for medical, to protect their family. That's money back in their pocket because they got TRICARE. The medical expenses for a deputy here is just, or detention officer. I mean, it's 3/4 of your paycheck. So you make $1,000 a month, $1,000 every 2 weeks, and you're paying $800 out of that check for childcare or health insurance for your family. That's crazy. But it's always a work in progress. I will tell you now, it's out of the bag. Well, it's not out of the bag, but and I ain't got my phone on me anyway. We're at 3 people short right now, 2 on the road and a detective short. We had an incident before I came on board as a sheriff in the jail for an incident that happened down there with an assault. The primary aggressor was relieved back then on or about 17 November and terminated, and he was put on leave with pay, and then he was terminated in March. And two other officers were involved in that as well. They were put. We got.
You want to release?
Yeah, let me get my verbiage right because I want to make sure that I don't. So prior to me taking August and January 2025, there was an incident at the Pulaski County Jail regarding alleged mistreatment of an inmate. The case was referred to Missouri Highway Patrol DDCC for investigation and referred to a special prosecutor after that. The primary aggressor was immediately placed on leave on or about November 17, 2024 and discharged from the sheriff's office on March 7, 2025. My office received indictments on 2 other employees that were allegedly involved in an incident this week. And those officers were placed on immediately placed on leave when those indictments were received. So we're short, we're working through this. Again, we're human, we make mistakes. We're accountable for our actions as law enforcement officers. And now that's my statement on this incident. And I've already been hit up by news agencies, and that's the statement that I gave them. I'm not putting out names. The names are, you can search them online if you want. But the incident is what it is. I tell you now, the incident is not the way that we operate in the Pulaski County Jail. I have a very good jail sergeant. I have a very good jail administrator. And we've been rocking and rolling. We've been down to 8 people in the jail that's caused me to work the jail, day or night shift. So we're finally back to full strength in the jail, but we are short on the road right now, and we got a pretty good team assembled. And this has hurt us a little bit because we have lost right now temporarily, as far as I see temporarily, 2 outstanding deputies that it's not easy. So we'll work through this. And again, we take responsibility for our actions. We don't hide nothing. This is just something that it happened, and the courts decided to do what they did, and now it's at the level it's at right now. So that's why it's being put out now.
The first thing seeing was yard sign.
A yard sign, yes. I'm pretty proud of this. My yard sign, and it's not meant to. Says this drug house closed for business by Sheriff Stacy Ball. It's actually closed. What?
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, it's actually closed by by some hard work by my drug enforcement officers and, by my detectives, my deputies to find this dope out there that allows us the probable cause to get into the houses and get the large quantities of dope. But I'm not shying away from it. You selling dope in Pulaski County, this sign will be in your yard. I can't leave them in your yard because somebody will steal them and put them in somebody else's yard, or they'll be in somebody's garage, and so I haven't left one yet. But I want to bring attention to it. I mean, if you have a drug house, I want people to know you have a drug house, and I want people to stay away from you. Again, that goes along with see something, say something. Some of the drug activity just to put out there. You see a house, you see a bunch of 2, 3, 5 minute stops from cars all day long at the same house. That's an indicator. I would like to know that so that we can get people out there in the area and check it out. They do it in plain sight. They do it, and I mean, they don't shy away from what they do it, where they do it, when they do it. They try to, but you're going to get caught. That's all I can tell you. It may not be tonight, tomorrow, next month, but you will get caught. And you will have a sign placed in your yard. I missed that. I missed 2 houses so far, so I should have more than I should out, but I forgot them in the office, so that's my fault. Any questions?
Could you tell me or tell us a bit more about the award? I'm taking notes for Ben because he could.
Oh, the Mac, I can make you a copy of it. Well, the Mac, it's for our rehabilitation, our reintegration program. I think there was some verbiage on there that somebody said I said something, but I didn't, or maybe I did, I don't know, at the commission meeting. Anyway, it's a reintegration program to help inmates about 90 days out to get their feet under them, get prepared to be released from jail. It has to do with getting counseling coordinated, getting their Medicaid, Medicare set up, get their, if they don't have a GED and they want to apply for a GED and take the test while they're here, she sets them up with that. Rides to and from their appointments. Getting them put into rehabilitation centers for drug rehab. And she follows up and works with the drug court on these folks as well. So, and I've talked to several people going up to the jail, because I walk up there just about every day to the courthouse. And I can't tell you how many people I've seen that have been in the jail that are in that program, and they thank me. So it's been a blessing so far. And it's only a 3-year grant. So what I'm hoping is by getting this information out, because it's already got the attention of Senator Alford, our U.S. Senator in DC. His people called me a couple days ago and asked me about the same thing, because I was like, damn, Senator Alford's watching he's looking at my Facebook. He's like, well, so he wants to know more about it, because being a Missourian and representing Missouri, this is something that all the jails in Missouri could get, but it costs money. It takes fun to run it, because it's not as simple as just showing up and doing it. You got to have people to do it. You got to have things in place. You got to get, I think the rides that they get is a cause. I think some of the taxi cabs have made, and I don't quote me on this, but maybe some of the taxis are working with ComC to help price, to get them to their appointments and things. So I don't know that to be true. So don't quote, but they are getting rides and getting help with getting rides to and from their counseling sessions. So it's a great thing. Anything else?
I have something.
Yes, sir.
So kind of back to the thing that happened in 2024 in November when I chose deputies to replace the lead. Have you done anything since then to kind of mitigate the risk of maybe stressors that are affecting the officers, especially down in the jailhouse, I guess you'd call it, to prevent this from happening again?
Yes, I stopped in-person visits to keep drugs from getting into my jail.
Mhm.
That was the underlying circumstance for this incident. And when the same person gets drugs in the jail several times, I mean, you kind of get,
Mhm.
and we've had overdose deaths in the jail. So
Yeah.
that was the underlying circumstance for the whole incident to happen. So with that, it could have been handled differently.
And
Go ahead.
to expand on that, the sheriff has also got us, in with the Missouri Sheriff Association. So now we do, extra training. So each of our jailers have gone through an actual jail.
Well, five have.
Yeah, so, well, that's right, we had some late, but yeah, so he's got that set up, so they actually come here and we run those guys through a jail academy. So it's just a shorter version of like what we go through on the road or anything like that, so. And then they have other trainings, you can see the statue things behind there. We use those different, for like taser training, for OC training, so it's to help mitigate the, as far as what you were talking about for stressors, is to give the officers more of the toolbox.
Yeah.
That they can use.
Is there still CIT training offered?
Yes. I will tell you, and
They meet here every,
I think it's the first or second Tuesday.
yeah, first or second Tuesday
Uh, Speaking from experience now, because I worked the jail for several weeks, the jail is mentally draining. The jail, those inmates have nothing to do but watch what the jailers are doing. Half of them probably know what cars that we drive, and they've been stuck down there. They watch, they try and find some way to get into a jailer to try and get some type of benefit, or it could be a e-cig. It could be, I mean, it's a constant cat and mouse game between the jailers and the inmates. So it's a drain and it's a stressor. And I've talked to Lisa Valverde about also coming into the jail and start to build a rapport with First. They help with first responders for stressful events, traumatic events, things like that. So I would like, especially, I mean, the officers need it too, but those guys down there are in harm's way 99% more than our deputies are. They are constantly under watch. At any moment, the inmate could just blow a gasket. And I mean, I got small petite females, but they've shown they can handle their own. I'm not just, but when you got a fight going on with 5, 6, 7 inmates, and you got 2 people working down there, it's still not a safe situation. That's why we call people back. Waynesville comes, St. Robert will come. One thing that the taser, we had a taser in jail, but I bought 3 sets. It's called the glove, and the glove is like a taser. However, a taser, the span of the taser will dictate the charge that you get. So the wider the span, the more the charge. Well, I bought 3 sets of gloves for the jail for my detention officers. So if we have a violent inmate down there, we have the taser, but we also have the glove. The glove, just let me see your hand on my hand. It's got to be skin contact, but I can grab Montana like this, and he feels nothing. As soon as Montana, tries to, jerk away, I put my palm down, and there's about a 1 inch gap between the two receptors that are gonna get the charge. As soon as that closes, when you put your hand on his skin, that gives an electric charge to the whoever you got the glove on, which is way better than the taser. And it's been very effective in the Missouri prison. It's been effective in the jails, because I'm telling you now, it's not painful, but it's just, it's a shock that you don't want to feel again. It's not as bad as sticking a cord in the bag on life socket and getting a life socket shock, but it's a good tool, and it's, studies have shown for this, and I'm sorry I don't have it on because I wasn't expecting to talk about it, but studies have shown that there is a dramatic decrease in people getting hurt versus using the taser. So as soon as you, because the taser, as soon as you get hit with the taser, you're on your face or your back, wherever but you're down. It's the same thing with the glove, except for as soon as you release, the shock is gone. Now you can handcuff them, detain them, get them where they need to be. So it's a safer alternative, and a better alternative. I think the only thing is your close hand. So if they're coming at you, the glove is irrelevant if they're coming at you, and especially with a weapon, or a shank or something in the jail, then the taser's got to come out, because you don't want them close on. But if two inmates are fighting, they won't break it up. That glove will break it up. So it's a good tool, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. And like I said, you can look compliance glove online, and it'll show you the compliance glove, and it'll show you the numbers across the United States of those that have used it, and the impact it's had on the agencies in a good way. You thought I got a question? I know what she needs.
Get one in the back though. Even coloring books are stitching out.
Other than that, we still have money to spend as far as for our grants for new equipment that we ordered 15,000 rounds of ammunition for rifle and 9mm. So we're going to do a lot of shoot, move, communicating training, because qualifying twice a year is, in my mind, that's what you get is a law enforcement. That's all you're required to do. But I want my deputies to be able to shoot, move, communicate. So we'll be running at targets. We'll be running away from targets, shooting at targets. We'll be low crawling it and shooting at targets. We'll be switching guns at targets. So we needed a lot of ammunition. So that's about $9,500 in ammunition, and it will pay off because it will give us better training, more time to train with the tactics that we need. Because just for example, a school shooter. Why do we have so many people die in a school shooting versus, when it comes to law enforcement? Like school shooters are like 80-90%, and law enforcement we're like 11%. Well, the reason being is because when a school shooter goes into a school where mass shooting happens, they're shooting at sitting ducks. They're shooting at kids under tables or people under tables. They're shooting at people walking down the hall right in front of them. They're shooting machine guns from an elevated position into a crowd of a bunch of people. Well, when you bring law enforcement in, number one, our adrenaline's up. We probably just ran however far to get to wherever we need to get to. Number two, our blood's pumping. Number three, we have to think about what's behind that target that we have to take out. Because if we miss and we hit an innocent, that's not a good day. So that's the kind of training that I'm talking about. We're going to start doing, and to get that heart rate going, to make sure that the deputies, when they don't have to sit there and take a break and be able to shoot their weapon accurately. They need to be able to come up to a situation running full speed, stop, draw their weapon, or if they're running at the ready, and engage the target right there. We've seen that happen several times in some of these, like Nashville, for instance. Those guys walked a long way and ended up taking out the threat. Just incidents like that. We haven't trained like that. But that's one of the big things in training that we're going to start focusing on is getting more shoot, move, communicate, so that we get our blood and we get to that point where almost to where we would be in an actual situation. Adrenaline changes everything. So that's one of the things that my training NCO is working on with even our new qualification is not just stand and shoot. We got a little bit of running in there, and we got drawing, and it's time now. Instead of shoot. Now it's, you got 3 seconds to get off 5 rounds. Now it's draw, bam, 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 bam. If you don't come within the time, you redo it. So there's a different standard, and we did that qualification this last for the 9mm pistol. We're going to do it for the rifle. The next one we didn't have enough rounds. So it'll make everybody a better deputy, and it'll be a better deputy for our citizens out there, that more trust and what's the word I'm looking for? Trust and knowing that we have a more experienced, trained deputy. Because anybody can shoot at a paper target and hit it 50 times. But
quarterly now.
Yeah, quarterly. We have our SROs. The SRO, all the SROs in county fall under the sheriff's office. So they come out, they're doing the same exact training, because who's going to be more prone to an active shooter and happen to run 300 meters and then up 3 flights of stairs? It's going to be the SRO initially. So the SRO is going to get the same type of training that the deputies get. So it'll be good for the parents to know that their deputies that are walking the schools are receiving that training as well. Yes, sir.
The phrases are great, but is there anything like in the future that will help, like add more road positions on the road and help mitigate some distress because of all the call volume?
You talking about getting road and bridge out there to?
No, eventually get more road deputies on the working, so they can help mitigate a lot of the stress and a lot of the overworking on the calls, paper services, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's our budget allows us for 13 deputies right now, which is, it's been like that for years. It was less than that 5-6 years ago, right? The more we grow, the more deputies we're going to need. And right now we probably need 22 to 25 deputies in this county. I need 20 detention officers down in that jail versus 14. Right now I have 16 deputies, and that includes, because we got one in, the city of Crocker is paying 80% for 3 deputies. I got to pay the other 10%, or 30%, however you look at it, for the rest of the cost for the deputies. That's going to be, yeah, people can spend more money. Taxes is what drives my budget. So, no, don't go crazy. The other thing too is there was and I know there's one city that's going to be pissed or upset with me saying it because they don't like me talking about it, but the usage tax. We Well, number one, the county did you a disservice, the citizens a disservice by not explaining the usage tax. And it was defeated by a lot because they see tax. Nobody wants to pay tax. I don't want to. I mean, I can ask for a half-cent tax for law enforcement tax. We need another half-cent tax to make up for the money we lost for paying for this building. The usage tax. So when you go online and you buy online, a lot of the places you're charged either a lesser tax or you're not charged tax at all. Whereas you buy from local and you're paying local tax. Well, the usage tax, if you buy in Missouri, you pay a tax now when you buy online. But all that tax, that's the usage tax. What you're buying online and that $3 and whatever cents that you pay for tax, all that money goes to Jeff City now. Jeff City determines how that money is spent. If the usage tax would have passed, that usage tax would have came to Pulaski County. And it would have been Pulaski County's money to add into the tax. Road and Bridge and the Sheriff's Office. Now, Road and Bridge just passed a tax last year. But nobody explained that to the citizens of this county, and it did us a disservice because that's extra money that now Jeff City and the governor get to spend on other things other than Pulaski County.
Usually the large cities get the largest amount.
So it costs about $20,000 to get that on the ballot. I wish I had $20,000 to put it back on the ballot. But if I put it on the ballot, then I can't talk about it. So that's, then I got to depend on something because nobody in the sheriff's office can talk to the citizens about, passing a tax that's on the ballot. So I would need informed people that would know how to talk to folks and explain it correctly to the citizens to get them to pass that because they see tax and it's like, I ain't doing that. I ain't getting taxed again. No, hell no. Or I just voted yes for Road and Bridge. I ain't doing another tax. It's money you're spending anyway that it just doesn't come to the county now. I don't know how much that would be as far as usage tax, but you figure we got 55,000 citizens and probably, well, daggone near 100% that can buy online. And that $3 times however many people are buying online for, that month or that adds up very quick. So that was disheartening because I was hoping that it would pass. That was on the ballot when I was running for sheriff, so it didn't. So that's how we get more deputies on the road because now we got money coming into our budget to help with that. And the other thing is there's going to be I can go to the judges and ask for more deputies. However, and the judges can say yes, but guess what? The judges aren't paying for it. I still have to come up with that money. I still have to budget that money. So in the meantime, I did 2 budgets this year. I did my first budget without no pay raises at all for anyone. Then I did the budget with the pay raises. That was because I was concerned about losing 3 deputies. And without any pay raises at all, I'm able to get 3 more deputies. But that's the 3 deputies that I already have that I'm only paying 10% each for. So now that I don't have to worry about that, I put the money back into for pay raises. So we worked too doggone hard to not give a $2,000, $1,500, $2,000 pay raise for the job that these guys and gals are doing, especially down in the jail. So, and I mean, with the COLA rate, I mean, I got to give them something. A $50 pay raise is kind of a slap in the face to me. but the money's got to be there. And until we change class counties, you know, we get what we get for general revenue, and we get what we get for the law enforcement tax. So the law enforcement tax, the jail, I believe, was supposed to be about 8 million.
It was originally, the budget was right at 9 million that Ron did, I believe.
So this jail facility actually cost 16-17 million dollars.
And that was voted on by an elected board by your commissioners.
Yep.
Not by the sheriff in charge.
Right. So that right there, instead of paying a $500,000 building fee for this building at $9 million, it ballooned up to $1.3 million. So the sheriff's office is out $500,000. That could have went towards equipment, towards more personnel. So $1.3 million off my law enforcement tax budget right away goes to pay for this facility. And then I get the other $1 million.
And they shifted over a lot of the budgetary restraints, like social security and all that. Now the sheriff's department paid for where it used to be paid in general revenue. Then they shifted all the benefits and that toward, not all, there's an admin side that they still take care of, I do believe.
Yeah.
But they shifted right at 500,000 that came out every year onto the deputies and onto the sheriff's department.
So just real quick math here, little search online, the average person spends a little over $200 a month on the online, on the internet. If you take that for an average, I think, the sales tax percentage in certain parts, let's say probably around 8%, something like that, which is about $21 per person that they spend. If you take that times 56,000 people, that's $1.2 million that they spend. So, I mean, that's, now, every person did it, we all know not everybody does, but if you did that, that's.
Most people spend more than $50.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at, that's the jail fee.
So there are other ways to get money in our budget and to crack this nut. And me and Rex are working hard at looking at.
And I think you have a proactive commission right now, which will help you.
Yes. The commission has done, they've done great things for the sheriff's office. If I've asked for it, they've given it to me, and if they didn't give it to me, they gave me a reason why, and a good reason, a valid reason. Some other things that to do with my budget, when we were up here, up at the courthouse, we didn't have to pay electric, garbage, sewer, water, gas, anything like that. Well, now we're down here, and I'm paying thousands of dollars for.
Per state statute, I don't believe you're supposed to be paying the electric. I do believe that's supposed to come out of general revenue, sir.
It is supposed to come out of general revenue,
Yes.
and it's coming out of my inmate security fund right now.
The electric bill is?
Yes.
Sorry.
That is going to change on this budget.
Isn't this a county building?
Yes.
So county should be. And I'm sorry, Linda,
No, go
I
ahead.
don't know if I heard you right. So the commission made the choice to be $500,000.
I'm gonna tell you, at the time are you talking about for social security?
The jail stuff.
They actually, at that time, the commission said yes or no and moved the lines around at that point in time. And then they appointed the board. There was one law enforcement person. The sheriff was the only voting person on the board, if I believe 6, if I'm right. I think that's what it was. The rest were very nice people, but feed store owners and that type of thing. Very good people, nothing wrong with those people. But at the same time, in my opinion, there should have been a representative from every single municipality, there should have been at least 2 from the sheriff's department, the jail administrator and sheriff at the time. But it was a different time, and like he said, he has a different commission now. And I think you have 2 wonderful commissioners that are behind you now. And I think, one will be up for election before long, and I think that will make it even better.
And
Yeah, this is not the site. I don't even think the former sheriff wanted this site. The site should have been in a better location, but this was a flood.
100,000 for this, not even 2 acres, is what it cost to build on.
This was a floodplain, and they built it up, raised it up 10 feet to take it out of the floodplain. Well, guess what I pay $45,000 for? Flood insurance. So,
Because they said it was adjacent. It was not in.
so that, you know,
And we put it by the children's department. All those things were addressed. The good news is you do have a new facility now. And you can't change what's happened to this. And like I said, you have commissioners that are willing to listen to your sheriff, I believe.
it's going to be this is year one for me and Rex. So it's going to be a battle every year. We're totally up for it. There's a lot of things we haven't not even tried to accomplish yet that we can get done. And we're going to find ways to do it, whether it's through grants, whether it's through fighting for more money, whether it's, I mean, it's, you got to think outside the box sometimes on how to do some of this stuff. And what we're looking at budget wise, we're thinking outside the box. So we're going to fight for what we should be getting.
You know, to go on what Linda was saying, the sheriff has gotten us, you know, the good news about what he's done. We've gotten, you know, an all new fleet. All of our cars are, you know, we only have one vehicle that's on the road right now that has over 50,000 miles on it. You know, all the vehicles will shortly have in-car repeaters. So all the radios, deputies, increasing communications, the new vests, you know, new firearms that we were able to go through. So all the equipment that he's managed to get us, you know, yeah, we've got the issues, but we need to look at, you know, the good things that we had that he's been able to accomplish through either grants or, you know, just thinking outside the box to get those things. And, you know, that's a lot of what we need to look at. Yeah, we can focus on the data about it, but the sheriff has done a really good job of getting us those things to increase that and to make more people, to make it where people want to come work here. You know, we talked about earlier about the, you know, it's, you know, we don't pay that much, but we've got people every single time we have an opening call in. Hey, I want to work in Pulaski County. It's not, yeah, hey, I understand what you're paying, but I want to work there. And that's something that I think is invaluable that he's been able to bring to the table.
They will learn more in 1 year here than they will in 4 years in any department between St. Louis and Kansas City, other than those 2 days. That's what the call volume is here. People don't realize that. And they will get a part and they will get to be through a whole investigation that they would not even get to in the larger cities for at least 10 years.
I got deputies that came from Class 1 county that said, "Oh my God, this is crazy."
Hey, Stace, do you happen to know off the top of your head what the difference?
Hold on, use small words.
All right, regroup. So what's the price difference if we move to Class 1?
We need price difference.
Yeah, you're gonna get.
The amount of taxes he would get is similar to the amount Camden County gets.
Yeah.
Camden County, I think, is around 18 million or so,
And their
give or
taxes
take.
start at $48 an hour. Am I?
Their deputies are over $50,000.
Yeah, but I thought it was 48, per hour. Is it $48 per hour?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, I think it's like 30.
Okay.
I don't think.
It was in the 30s when I left. I assumed they kept.
So is the population of Fort Leonard the only thing that's keeping us? We have all the other stats.
So to speak.
Land.
Paved road.
It's your
Land assessed value.
Land value.
And how many paved roads?
And with that, so we crossed the last threshold. The threshold used to be 600 million.
Yep.
We crossed it, and about 6 months before we crossed it, or right as we.
No, we had crossed it. We had crossed it, and then the commission went to a commission conference. They raised it to 800 million.
Yeah, they raised it to 800 million.
So we crossed over into class 2 county, and then they raised it to 800 million.
And one of the other things that that would bring to the county is not only would you have a coroner, but you would have to have a medical examiner, which is wonderful for the law enforcement to have access to a medical examiner.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it's just more qualified person.
Well, they're adding on a new circuit clerk judge. This just goes to show how much caseload we have at Pulaski County. We've had to add a new circuit clerk judge or circuit judge to our circuit just to be able to catch up on cases, because we are, again, as a class 3 county, we have the caseload of a class 1 county, if not more than there's only a few class 1 counties, and we have the caseload of a class 1 county by far. We've had to add another circuit clerk judge.
Okay.
Anything else? Well, thank you. We got a good team. It's I'm very pleased where we're at. I'm very pleased with the personnel we've been able to assemble. So we just got to do our due diligence to make sure that we continue training and mentoring, and teaching. So that's the biggest thing that we're to keep, and to make them happy. I mean, look, they're laughing back there. Again, that was a big thing for. Yeah, we don't have the pay, so what can we offer without the pay? Well, if you love where you're working, that makes a big difference too. Because I've had people I've had deputies they've tried to coax to other cities, and they won't go, which means a lot to me because we've been able to build a strong team and people that get along. We're not gonna, we're gonna have our differences and things like that, but for the most part, I mean, it's been great so far. So. Anything else? Well, there's some material back there on the table. If you got kids that aren't here or anything, there's, like I said, that Stitch and Alex coloring book, those are for my dogs. Stitch and Alex that do great things for this county. Lucky to have them. It's lucky to have the handlers that are very thorough and very knowledgeable, especially on case law. So, I mean, it's the dogs, I've said it, but I'll say it again, they can smell a fart in a dust storm. They're awful. So, but they make their handlers that much better too, because the handlers know how to work. So, if nothing else,